One.
What's up, Bucks? What's up, Bucks Report? Bucks Report.
Bucks, go Bucks. Go Bucks, go Bucks. Go Bucks, go Bucks. Bucks, go Bucks. First and goal, got to tough it out. Get in the end zone and call a hot route. O-line a beast, Mike on the screen to have Humphreys run right underneath. You know it's Bucks ball, we got the hardest deep. Bring the pressure to the QB. You know it's routine, we got hard grease. Welcome to Tampa, welcome to Gerald. Go Bucks, go Bucks. Reppin' for my team. Go Bucks, go Bucks. You know we want the ring. Go Bucks, go Bucks. Welcome to the Bay. Go Bucks, go Bucks. Tune in with Buccaneer Blade. Bucks back, we can run and toss. Mike Evans looking like Randy Moss. And Jameis make the play after play. On the defense, you can't stop Levante. On my boy McCoy, who you can't avoid. At the Raymond James, you about to feel the pain. You a Bucks fan, make a lot of noise. If you a Bucks fan, make a lot of noise. Go Bucks.
Well, welcome back, everybody. There's a slight lag and everything, just let me know. I'm gonna still get through it. My main computer went down on me, so I'm kind of running on the backup computer right now. So bear with me for everything I got to go through right now and do everything. It's going to be a little bit different than what I'm normally doing. But the show shall continue. It shall go on. The show must go on. So what's up, everybody? Welcome back to Buck and Blake Sports with your host, Mr. Buccaneer Blake, coming out of BucksReport.com, out of my small corner of Dunedin, Florida, giving my flavor of the Buccaneers and what's been going on and all that stuff like that. And always looking forward to you guys' comments and everything. As you guys put a lot of insight in your opinions and stuff like that. And I actually like having different opinions because it makes the conversation fun. A lot of people get sensitive when you have a different opinion to somebody and they get all personal when it's just their opinion. Yeah, there's nothing wrong with that. Makes it fun. Wouldn't be fun if everybody agreed. As always, say it loud where you're watching from or what section you're sitting in there. I'm out of Dunedin, Florida, in section 147. Let me know where you guys are going. What up, Dean? Going strong on the backup computer, Dean. So bear with me, man. If there's some lagging or whatever, I don't know how this is going to operate. I normally use my Mac, but I'm using my Lenovo right now. It's a touch screen. Like 20 inch screen or whatever it is. Everything's touch. So I got to operate off that now. So let's keep rolling. Bucks Report sponsors. Please show love to Bucks Report sponsors by checking out the Rat Pack Sports Show, Rich Kid Clothing Line, and Woodham Insurance. Make sure to check those guys out. Woodham Insurance cover everything: car insurance, home, boat, and all those type of luxuries that we have here in Florida. Also, show the Bucks Report, Buck and Blake sponsor, Buck and Blake Sports sponsor, and it's still Bucks Report sponsors. I just don't know why it's there like that. It should say both. Lids and Tyrone Square Mall. Contacts Christopher Shaw, 727-381-4820. Receive 10% off your first purchase when you mention BucksReport.com. If it's too far for you, call the store and they will mail it to your house so you don't have to. Liz actually got a bunch of clearance stuff for the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Ironic, like 232 items right now. So that's something you probably want to jump on and get in there. Pittsburgh. Yeah, Keith Tallahassee in the building. Make sure you guys check out other Bucks Report shows. Sunday, Midnight Madness with Bill Siebert. And then Mr. Derek Jones and the Derek Jones Show. He needs no other introduction. It's the Derek Jones Show. He's always bringing his flavor. Kind of in-your-face talk. Cool. He always arguing with me. We have his different opinions, and I admire that about him because, like I said, I enjoy debates. Tuesday, Tampa Tony and the Ramblin' Rossi Posse on Tony's Take, 8 to 8:30 on Tuesdays. But Bikes, 1 to 1:30 coming out of the UK. Thursday at midnight, the Red podcast with Phil and Mac. Of course, me now on Thursdays. Saturdays, the Peter Blake and the Sports Web from 3 to 6. And he has the day after show at 9 p.m. No Corey yet. What do you mean, Dean? New shows coming up. Check out Mike Clayton shows. Congratulations, Big Mike, on having another baby in addition to the family. That's cool. Yeah, I don't have any kids of my own, so I'd rather play with everybody else and give them back. But congratulations, Big Mike Clayton, on your new addition to the family, new baby. And check out his show coming up. Going to kick off here in January. It's called Listen Up. Pay attention to this broadcast for further information on how to follow. Also look up his special segment called Twitter Gangsters, a little thing he's going to do, something out here in Tampa Bay. Too much negativity coming from the fans. So it's kind of his way of coming back at it and putting his professional spin on it because, you know, he's the one that actually played in the league, and a lot of us probably barely even played high school football. Fair use. Any copyrighted material without permission of the copyright holder for purposes such as criticism, parody, news reporting, research, and scholarships and teaching. I'm not making any money off of any of the videos I use. It is solely for broadcasting and criticism. Make sure you subscribe on my website, www.buckandblakesports.com. Give away stuff every week, at the end of every month. Probably majority during the football season because, you know, send stuff around the end of the year. I might do it all year. Have lids consistently send stuff. I got to send stuff out. I already owe one, and I got to send out the other one. Those holidays got crazy, and I didn't really get a chance to get to that with all the stuff going on. Got to make sure I'm a man of my word and send those out. But make sure you sign up. It's free of charge, and you can get on there and do that. Also, if you there's donations and stuff on there. Any money I don't use myself, I can afford to get all the stuff I need. If it is something for me, it will be put out there. If it's for me to get some addition and stuff, but most of that will just go to some charity. Like the year before, we did Dream Forever Foundation, got up $500 and gave away a Jason Pierre-Paul jersey. Actually, one of our own. Keith Larson won that down Tallahassee. He got a nice Jason Pierre-Paul jersey, and I guess it works out even better because, you know, Pierre-Paul had double-digit sacks this season, so that's kind of cool. All right, so let's get into the main topic here. Bucks versus Dallas. What did we learn? Also, the breaking point. So what did you guys learn? I learned well, I already know that, but it was like even more official that our offensive line is really bad. It's like really, really bad. It's just a reminder on what the season's been like with protection and being able to go vertical with the ball like we could prior to that. I'm not sure if it's like a real connection problem and communication between center and the other linemen, or is it just there are players getting beat by better players? I mean, it's really hard at this point, 16 weeks, and you still have the same problem. We haven't made any adjustments all year. Adam Humphries, he's a man. He's a man. He took a big hit, like he's had 2 other times this year. This is the only one that actually got called. But he's the only player that's been consistently consistent. And I just remember people were ready to get rid of Adam Humphries for Justin Watson at the beginning of the preseason. And I'm so glad he stuck around. I'm so glad the dude's humble to be here, and I don't think he wants to run off. But if that does, I already know what team he's gonna go. He's gonna go straight to the Patriots. I appreciate Adam Humphries. If I had to say the breaking point, I also learned that Dirk Cutter. Oh my gosh, this man, he pays too much attention to his daggone play sheet that you saw the play clock running down and you didn't call timeout. Lord knows what Winston was doing. I don't know if he was making adjustments at the line and didn't see it. Because sometimes you don't have time to look up real quick when you're trying to get stuff straight, when the defense is making moves and stuff like that. But that's your job too, to back him up, to make a timeout call when you see that he doesn't notice it. People calling him stupid and careless and stuff like that. But all that's happening so fast, especially if you get the play in late, and all that plays a part. And I mean, overall, it falls back on the head coach. You can blame it on Winston all you want. That's what they're gonna do anyway. Get the ones that don't like him. But at the end, the head coach is responsible for everything. So at the end of the day, it all falls on him. Now, there are parts where it's not always the head coach's fault, because it's his job to put everybody in position and put pieces in play and let those pieces play out. Then you replace those pieces with other pieces when those don't work out. But a lot of that, it's on the head coach. You gotta back your quarterback up. You gotta help him out. Especially when you see that in that critical point in the game down in the goal line on 4th down, and you let that happen. I mean, it's just pretty much a staple of the season that you're just careless sometimes, and you gotta pay attention. I see you, Johnny, talking about Adams is a man. Hopefully we keep him around and we can keep building. Everybody wants to subtract, but I think we just need to keep adding instead of subtracting to move on for the future. And I would say the breaking point was the missing the fourth down in the red zone to go down one score, or whatever it was at that time. You had to go down one score and possibly steal the game near the end, rallying back. Warhop, yeah, he's done, Dean. Offensive line coordinator. I don't know what's going on. Kappa should have been playing all year, in the stead of Benenot. When you knew Benenot wasn't going to get it done, you've been very patient with him, and it just didn't work out. And Benenot played tackle at UCLA, and he got moved to guard, and then it didn't work out. I wonder if the same thing would happen with Donovan Smith moving him inside. Hopefully not, but hopefully something happens, man. Definitely, you got to fix the O-line. I think we still need to. Let me go on this. Go on this before I get off topic. Alvin Brown. Hopefully, all changes will be better for the teams and the fans. Yeah, the fan. I understand. Alvin. I don't blame people. Fans for getting upset. With Winston and everything. He's pretty much the byproduct of everything bad that's happened, because you are the quarterback, and you take a lot of the. And you take a lot of the blame and stuff like that, and it's just what it is. And some of the stuff is on his own. A lot of that game, I know people were talking about some bad throws. I'm like, you take it look at it as an entirety. Like those underthrows, I know when I saw it was underthrown, I already knew what it was. He couldn't step up into the throws because there's no pocket. Well, the pocket was collapsing. You can't drive the ball. You got to drive. You can't just use your upper body to drive a ball. You got to use your legs too. And he couldn't sit. I already knew what it was when they were going short. He probably was purposely throwing them short too, so it wouldn't be a pick and loft, which I would rather take that than him trying to force things. And Jameis has held his own. Given all these bad situations, especially with these penalties in these games and getting put behind the chains, 3rd and 17s, and he converges it. He gets offensive pass interference penalties. You're not getting much for support and run in the run department. You're not getting much support with your offensive line consistently. And a lot of it, he's got to bide his own time to find people over, much like Aaron Rodgers had to do. A lot of Aaron Rodgers gets a lot of credit. And I'm not comparing Jameis Winston's to Aaron Rodgers. I'm comparing their situations and stuff that they got to overcome. Just Aaron Rodgers been on the more lucky side than Jameis Winston has. This is Tampa Bay here. And, and I'm glad he took a huge step back and not try to force a lot of those balls. He probably would have tried to force a lot of balls, in previous Jameis Winston. But somebody got in his head, and this man is really trying to protect the ball. If you want to blame the strip stack on him for not running and all that, the man's trying to make a play for the team. Donovan Smith was beat from the start of the snap, and Randy Gregory got around and got the strip sack. You can say he could run, you can say all that, whatever. He's trying to make a play downfield. I think Winston's ran enough, and he's let the receivers do some work. And he did have a guy open. It's just Couldn't get it there in time. Bucks report. Oh, you talking about lids? Yep. If they can't get there, tell them that they can just order it and have it sent there and still get that discount. All you do is use my name or use Bucks report. Yeah. One I want to really talk about, Vita Vea dominating again. Is he still a bust? I mean, you can say the Derwin James conversation all you want. Derwin James would have made no difference. We don't run a system that would have best fit him. Yeah, John, it was a great play by Gregory. Like I said, everybody just wants to find blame. It was just a great play. He beat everybody on that play. And at the end of the result, Winston's the byproduct of it, and he's the punching bag. Vea, everybody wants the Derwin James pick, but it'd be foolish to draft a defensive back when you're last in the league in sacks, last in the league in getting pressure. Remember, we got a safety, Deshaun Golston, didn't matter because we didn't have a pass rush. Remember, we had Darrelle Revis and didn't make a difference because you didn't have a pass rush. You can have all the people you want in the secondary. If you cannot get to the quarterback, you cannot cover somebody that long. And I don't care how much football knowledge you know, it's almost nearly impossible to cover somebody that long in this league. Try covering Tyreek Hill for that for 4 and 5 and 6 seconds. Come on, man. It wouldn't matter if it was Patrick Peterson, Richard Sherman in his prime, D'Angelo Hall. It don't matter. It's just you can't do it. Jalen Ramsey, you just can't. But yeah, Vita Vea should have had 2 sacks. The first one he got robbed because he did grab his face mask. It was what it was. Dallas hadn't. That's kind of reason why we got Vita Vea against a big offensive line like Dallas, and he held his own. If Vita Vea can handle Dallas's offensive line, he can handle any offensive line in this league. And I'm really glad that his confidence level is up. He is playing well. He's in midseason form. Granted, I say this because of midseason form because remember, he missed the beginning of the season. At the beginning of the season, he was still trying to fill things out, trying to learn and make sure he's going in the right gap and all that. Pierre Paul has been a great mentor to him and telling him to just play football. And football, like I said, is from the neck up, and you wonder why people are slow at reacting to plays and stuff like that, because 9 times out of 10 they're trying to make sure they're in the right coverage. They're trying to make sure they're executing the game plan that you went over in that certain situation, and that comes with time. Some people don't pick it up, some people do pick it up, but that separates the great players from the good. And it's not necessarily being a bust. It's just like he's not comfortable yet doing what he's supposed to do. It's a little more complex now in the NFL than it is in college. College is just pretty much a little extended version of high school. You give the ball to the fastest man, and when he beats everybody, that's pretty much what college is. And the NFL, it's a little bit different. Everybody's just as fast as you when you were the fastest man in high school and college. And even with Ronald Jones, I can't really defend the man because everything people say is pretty much look true. When he's out there, he really looks lost. And I don't know if it's intelligence level or whatever it is, or what was the main purpose of why we got him. I mean, I understand why we got. You try to add some speed to the backfield because we already had a big back in Peyton Barber. But they did try to throw swing passes out to him. He either drops it or he doesn't catch the ball cleanly enough to make a move on the defender and get downfield like every other back does in the league. Christian McCaffrey and Alvin Kamara. He's just not doing that. Oh, Kevin, hold on. I'll get to that in a minute. Oh yeah, Dan, you must be talking about Vea. And it's just, and that's just us got to do our part as well to make sure the development is being done correctly. We're using the player the way that we intended on using him for. And if he's not that good, then he should have moved it. To be quite honest, Chris Sims Chris Sims got injured in the first preseason game, so I take that back. But if you're going to throw passes and stuff like that, then Chris Sims needs to stay on his team because Chris Sims is a great pass catching running back. We don't run plays to fit the system. We don't run plays to fit that. We don't, like I said, we can't run between the tackles. Then we should have been throwing the balls to the backfield like we did Jaquez. Rodgers. He's done great. Pass blocking. I mean, he's been a Swiss Army knife, pass blocking, catching passes, making some big runs when he needed to do so. I mean, I much applaud Jacquizz Rodgers over this season. Rojo is just the reverse Charles Sims. Yeah. I'm trying to catch on with that one. I'll explain that one a little bit, Carlton Hill, because Charles Sims can catch. Okay, I get you now. You're saying that Rojo can run, but he can't catch, and Charles Sims can't run, but he can catch. Yeah, I get you now. And Charles Sims is awesome at catching the ball. Oh my goodness. If you had to rate him in Madden, you would say 80 in catching. His hands are enormous. So catching the pass ain't nothing. But we don't. I mean, go on YouTube and look at Charles Sims' highlights. All his great plays are catching the ball and his touchdowns and stuff like that. And when he's in open field, he makes some good moves. We weren't doing that. And that all goes uncuttered. Like I said, not making adjustments, taking advantage of slow linebackers and stuff like that. But how am I getting on Charles Sims? And I'm talking about Vita Vea. But Vita Vea, he's coming around now, and he's really showing. And Atlanta didn't get a chance to really play against him. So I caught on. I got you. Vita Vea is coming around now, and I'm really happy. And a lot of Bucks fans, still mumbling, Rada, James. Yeah, it's they wanted Derwin James. He really is an athletic freak, but we definitely needed interior line, especially if we plan on moving on from Gerald McCoy and stuff like that. So we got to start adding there and moving. What's going on? Oh, that's what you're talking about, Corey in the house? Corey Brown, I see him. What up? So let's move on to the next thing. DeSean Jackson, is he in or is he out? What do you say? I said we don't give him the easy way out. If we don't get trade partner, you make him stay here. I'm not giving away players for free anymore. You come in here taking money, you're going to work for it. You're going to earn it. I'm not cutting him and letting somebody else pick him up for free. You have to come get him. Trade me something for him. Anything. 3rd round pick, 4th round pick, a catching back, another pass rusher. You're going to give me something. Yeah, I'm with you, Dean. He's out. I said, you're going to give me something for DeSean Jackson. I'm not cutting people for free anymore. We're not in a position to just let people go like we're that good, because we are not. We're not in a position just to let people go. And I'm tired of doing that. We start. You want to talk about this as a business? All right, I'm talking about a business decision. We're going to talk about we'll use something that everybody goes to, Starbucks. If there's a particular product that I don't like anymore and it's bad for business and the drink is not performing the way that I thought it was going to be because I put extra espressos and stuff in that, and it's supposed to be the best espressos and has the best espressos and coffee history. When customers buy it, I'm not getting rid of the product and then let somebody else pick it up and then use the product better than the way I was using it. No. I said that espresso is going to be traded. That espresso is going to be somebody's going to come get it. I'm not letting it sit out there for somebody to just pick up and then mold it into the best espresso that they want it to be. I'm sorry, I'm comparing a grown man and DeSean Jackson to an espresso at Starbucks. But I just wanted to use a metaphor, a business metaphor that everybody could understand, and probably find enjoyment in that. So let me go into conversations here. Christopher Cole, I'm with you on that. My thing, I mean, y'all agree with me? Just type yes if you agree with me. You don't want to give them away for free. I'm not giving away. We're not in a position to give nothing away for free. Give me something for them. What? Safety? An overpaid safety? I rather. Oh, here you go. Here's an example. Here, don't try to steal. Don't try to steal my idea either. Cardinals need receivers. Patrick Peterson and DeSean Jackson basically make the same contract. You can trade DeSean Jackson for Patrick Peterson, about the same age and same player, both speed, athletic players. You can go tick for tack. I would be on board with that. And that fills a need, and for a couple years. Yep, see, it fills a need for a couple years, It feels whatever the Cardinals need a wide receiver. Give somebody else with Larry Fitzgerald to stretch the field and all that. But I am not with cutting him and not getting nothing for it. It's not for certain. You're right, Dean. I'm just throwing that out there. I know a lot of people wanted that. Jacksonville Jaguars want to move on from Jalen Ramsey. I'm willing to give him Deshaun Jackson and a pick for Jalen Ramsey. Feels a need. Is there other higher pass rushers? Is there another pass rusher out there that we could use, or a running back that maybe cost the same, but we can actually use, or maybe an offensive lineman? Like, we can fix the line. I didn't see that, Dean, but it's out there. Dean says he called it first. I'm not going to try to act like I'm still his turf. Dean said he said it first. And you can do that. Like I said, I'm not down with cutting him and getting nothing. I am not down with that. You done took our money. I'm getting something from you. You know, you owe me something, and I'm just not letting it go. So somebody's gonna have to come up off something. Whether it's pick a player, but I think you can get at least a player or adequate player for Deshaun Jackson with the salary. And like I said, I think there's other people that have players on their team that they might move, and we could trade for them. And Patrick Peterson would be a great one. Patrick Peterson can return kicks, and Patrick and Peterson can play corner. Hell, he could play safety if he wanted to. You can line him up on tight ends. There's so much we can do with that. Now that we got Duffner at defensive coordinator, and I think he would do stuff like that. Mike Smith wouldn't. He wants to make apples oranges and oranges apples. Let an apple be an apple. You're gonna hear me say that 100 times, but there you go. Said trade D-Jack for a 4-5 to any AFC team or make him play for the money he hoped he traded. Yep. Don't let him go for free. Tell him if he doesn't want to be here, then trade him. I'm with you, cause see, y'all with me now. So y'all agree. We all in agreement. Don't let him go for nothing. That was like the Cleveland Cavaliers. When LeBron James told them that the first time when he told them he wasn't going to re-sign with the Cavaliers because as you know, in the NBA, they don't have franchise tags. So you kind of got to do something now. NFL, they kind of have leverage. You can hold him there hostage and just franchise tag him. And they told you he wasn't coming back. So you had the option to just let the season play out, knowing you wasn't going to win an NBA title. And you let him walk as a free agent and you got nothing for him. Should have traded him the minute you knew he wasn't coming back and moving. Carlton says, hold on a second. I told you I'm using another computer. Jason Light can't fix nothing. He's got 5 light bulbs out in the house right now, and y'all expect him to fix the whole line. The problem is we keep hoping for the best, knowing it needs to be adjusted. And I think we've spent enough picks on offense, offensive weapons that you need to help. And it's sad that we still got to pick players on offense. Like here we are back on offense again, and the defense is going to get neglected. And the defense, is just starting to get in the right direction. We need to keep building on that. So my best bet, I've always been a man that says that I will spend money on offense and defensive linemen, more so offensive linemen, because it protects your quarterback and it helps you run the ball. On defensive line, you win the trenches, you win the line of scrimmage, you win the games. That's where the game is won. It ain't won with DBs. It's not won with wide receivers. I've seen teams win Super Bowls with 4-string corners and backup wide receivers. You make an apple in your system. That's basically how it works. Now, what's going on, Sean Dripping Buck Brown? Oh, I like that, man. That rolls off the tongue, right? Sean Dripping Buck Brown. Oh, yeah. You got to put the Barry White voice on. Oh, yeah. Trade Deshaun to the Texans for Clowney. That'll never happen. But, hey, man, some stuff might. I'm not going to take that back. I ain't going to say never. It's a possibility. Hell, what about Tyrann Matthews? But enough about Deshaun. He wants out. He's going to be out. But he ain't getting out of here for nothing. He's going to stay here and play if I can't get here for nothing. I'm not giving him away for free. Somebody come get him. Yep. whatever, running back, DB, O-line, Alvin, tell him. Somebody come get him. Should Cutter stay? Who replaces him? The guy I say I like, I'm dripping Buck everywhere, baby. I hear you. Cutter, unless there's somebody better than Cutter, then he needs to stay here. You know, I now respect the Bucks a lot if they make that decision to keep continuity here. And that's something we're never too familiar with. You want to ride out Cutter and Winston for one more season to see what Winston and them got, to see if they can finally get the ship together and get one more year to do something right. Because Winston, Winston should finish out the last year in the contract. I don't care if it's $20 million or not. I said, but no player in the draft is going to be better than Jameis Winston. Chuck Pagano, not sure what's up with him. He had his chance to rebuild that Colts team, and it fell apart when Bruce Arians took over. When Bruce Arians vacated and took the job in Arizona. A guy I like, and I know a lot of people give me backlash for it, is PJ Fleck. PJ Fleck is everything he touches is successful. And the reason why is because he's high energy. He relates to players, and he holds people accountable. And because he's an ex-player himself, played wide receiver, I think, for the Rams, if I'm not mistaken, years ago, coached college and moved up the ranks, and he's being successful very quickly. I foresee him being some type of offensive coordinator soon in the NFL, moving up or taking a head coaching job or whatever. He was the head coach that was at Western Michigan that coached Corey. Was it Corey Smith, Corey Brown, that wide receiver that went out to the Tennessee Titans. That he was on that roster. And he's a very good coach, and I like people that have an objective and he has goals and stuff like that, and he has expectations. I think that's somebody that would be great here in Tampa Bay. He has high energy, and that's definitely something we've never had here with coaching. Pagano interview by the Packers. That's interesting. Trade Deshaun and McCoy for Le'Veon Bell. You don't need to trade for them, Corey. He's a free agent. And the question is the amount of money that he's going to ask for him. We don't have an offensive line to block for him. And the other part is he knows how bad he knows Cutter. If Cutter wouldn't run the ball with Devontae Freeman, he ain't going to run the ball with Le'Veon Bell. He ain't going to throw the ball to Le'Veon Bell. So Le'Veon Bell would be sitting here getting paid $15 to $20 million for minimum performance. If he's getting paid that much, Le'Veon Bell needs to have at least 10 pass attempts and 20 touches if you're going to pay him that much. I mean, ultimately that would help out Winston because he would have to make some money throws, but I don't think the offensive line will provide any lanes and things like that for Le'Veon Bell if we got him here, but we'll see. Marvin Lewis, the guy I want was Greg Williams out there in Cleveland, and I don't think they're going to let him go the way the Browns are playing late, and that's exactly who I wanted as head coach. It don't look like I'm going to get it. Defensive-minded man, and knows when it came from New Orleans, and so knows how to win. But McCarthy has been tagged here, and it's a lot like Green Bay. Poor offensive line play. Quarterbacks got to scramble around. Wide receivers play scramble drill, and you find the ball, go downfield to him. Tony possibly might be. Who knows? He needs to. Jason Light needs to, try to make some type of better adjustments and stuff like that to see what's going on. So I mean, we'll see. I haven't got to that, Sean. We'll get to that soon. Oh, there it is. It's right now. Free agent and draft. Who is available? Who you talking about, Sean? Free agents, like I said, you got Tyler Lewan, you got a bunch of offensive tackles coming out in this draft that we could fix this offensive line with free agency with one or two players and moving, shuffling people around, depending on where you want to go with it. And then the key part: do they really want to come here? If they really, if the Glazers want me to come out there and talk to some of these players, yeah, I'll do it if they just give me a call. I think I can relate to a lot of people, and not try to be a used car salesman, but you just got to make do on the promises. I'll make them, and there won't be unrealistic problems. Like I said, first off, people want to be a part of something with a good culture here. They want to be somewhere where there's some stability, and you're not swapping people around unless it's necessary and needed. People want to be a part of that. They want to go someplace where they know they're wanted, welcome, and they're going to be supported, when stuff happens. People don't want to come into a chaos mess. That's why I tell these fans they need to stop all that nonsense with the messages and all that stuff on Instagram and Twitter and all that stuff. Like, these players see this stuff and they don't want to come here and be a part of that nasty culture. I mean, if you truly are a Bucks fan, you got to understand what I'm talking about. And it's all right to be upset when there's people that are underperforming or stuff like that, or don't care to be here, and then that's warranted what happens to them or what you got to say to them. But when you got people here that want to be here and they really are playing and not trying to sit out the year so they don't get hurt and go off to another team, you can't treat them like crap. You can't treat them like crap. And everybody, and then we were talking about the coaching earlier. I'm just remembering now. You want Tomlin to come here? Why would he want to come here? Especially with, ethnic black coaches here, they only get 2 years and they get fired anyway. You did it to Raheem Morris. You did it to Lovie Smith. What you going to do it to Mike Tomlin too? Now, I don't think that Tomlin would have any bad success, but let's just say it happens. Let's just say quarterback gets hurt and you get in a situation, you have a bad season. That stuff can happen. But and the reason I bring up Raheem, Lovie, even Tomlin, they're all homegrown Tampa guys, and we treat our guys bad. And it's not the fans' fault. Well, a little bit, people crapped on Lovie, and some people were on the fence about Raheem. They were all here with the Super Bowl team, and they were homegrown guys, and you kicked them out. You got rid of Lovie for Cutter because you were scared the Eagles were going to pick him up. And you couldn't even call the man in and fire him face to face. You hit him up on the phone and fired him. But you don't do people like that. And that's why I think a lot of bad stuff happens to the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. But, I try to act like I ignore it, but no, I'm not. I'm gonna put it out there to people. You do wrong to people. Stuff like that happens. Yeah, Tony Dungy too. You're right, Corey. I forgot about Tony. Tony, one of our students, you treat him bad. And then Cutter gets all these excuses with his loaded roster. I get it. Lovie didn't win here. The team was terrible when he got here. I get it. He told them that this team would not start to win until the third year. He went and got offense and then was going to get defense in the years after that. He did something he never usually does. He's a defensive coach. And he went and got offensive player because he knew you had to score 20 plus points in this league to win, and did that. Got the players we here we needed and started making moves in the right direction. And I think that's part of why the Glazers don't want to move on, from Cutter, because they knew they made a rash decision in getting rid of that man for Cutter because they thought he was going to be that guy. And I don't know. That's a whole lot. It's a mess. It's a mess. It's a lot of situations and stuff that they didn't think out like that. But let me get back on topic. I'm reading some of the comments. Pittsburgh not letting their coach go. They really not having a bad season. They got a shot in the playoffs too. And they don't swap head coaches because winning franchises have two things, Tony. I'm agreeing with you. They have consistent head coaches, consistent quarterbacks. That's how you win in this league. Tom Coughlin coaching for the Bucks. He's doing GM work. He's too old to be on the field now. You're right, Corey. I said Lovie Smith wasn't. What's going on, Tony? Carlton, he wasn't good, but I don't know if you heard my point. The roster was bad, bro. You can't say, oh, Lovey wasn't winning with a loaded roster. He wasn't winning with a terrible roster. And that was the whole point. He told them it takes 3 years. He was going to take that man 3 years to get this team right. And what year did we go 9-7? That's right, the third year. And so instead of progressing, we regressed with Cutter after the 9-7 season. Lovey had a plan. Cutter didn't. Mike Tomlin doesn't deserve to lose his job. Nope, he does not, Mike Ellis. I'm with you. But yeah, we have a bad tendency of doing people wrong that want to be here. And that's part of why Tony Dungy won't do anything with this business. Because he was part of that crew that got done wrong. Jim Schwartz says it's all possibilities, man. Offensive player he got largely worse subpar. You talking about Lovey Carlton? I mean, just be honest. Don't just look at the wins and losses. Like, be honest with yourself. Tell me this man did not have. You can't literally look me in the eyes and tell me this man had a roster that was a winning caliber roster. No way. We basically lived off of waiver wire on defense, and we drafted all the players in offense. He made the roster worse his first year, though. He did it to himself. Lovey, that is. You have to look at that roster. We had Mike Glennon and Josh McCown as quarterback for starters. There were no QBs available in free agency. There's no QBs available right now that are that good. You can keep saying Nick Foles, but Nick Foles ain't going nowhere. Philly ain't gonna let that happen. Look at where Carson Wentz can't stay healthy. And the team kind of responds better than Nick Foles. So the question is, does Philly really need to hold on to Nick Foles and move on from Carson Wentz? That won't happen because you spent too many draft picks to get Carson Wentz. But it's crazy. Buck should have never let go Herm Edwards. You're talking about Frazier. I think you're talking about Corey. And Herm is coaching out in Arizona. Front office management change and regime have been horrible as long as I can remember. Like I said, they make split second decisions without thinking it out. Carlton, are you agreeing with? No, he had a bad roster, but he made it worse. He blew up the old line, gave away Revis amongst other moves. And I talked about that earlier. Like I said, I don't know if you heard me say that, Carlton. We addressed offense and we got Revis, but we never fixed our pass rush. So having Revis, Patrick Peterson, Earl Thomas, Cam Chancellor, Richard Sherman, it ain't going to make no difference if you can't get to the quarterback. You can't cover for so long and expect these guys to cover these receivers in this league. It's just not going to happen. So, and that's been proven. We picked up Deshaun Goldson and we picked up Darrelle Revis, and it's proven fact that if you have no defensive line, it makes no difference. Winston, one more year. Yep, I agree with that. Finish out the contract. Finish out things in Tampa Bay. Stop being a roster. That roster was bad. That was a bad roster back then, and that's what I'm trying to say. You're judging Lovie Smith on a bad roster. And then you hold Cutter. I guess my argument is you people. Not, I ain't gonna say you. I'm just saying. I'm speaking broadly. People held Lovie Smith at a higher coaching standard with a worse team possible than Dirk Cutter has right now. Everybody and their mama, we can all agree on the test that this roster is way better than that roster that Dirk Cutter, that Lovie Smith was inherited with. But you expect more out of him with that than you are with Cutter with this. Maybe not now that you don't with Cutter because everybody's through with him. But that's what I'm talking about. I guess. So Winston, one more year, yes. Finish it out. I want to start being a team that finishes out contracts, or you finish out what you started, man. And then you move out from that. Unless it's really that bad. Winston has his mistake. Yep, I'm with you. I'm with you, Sean. But if you move on from Dirk, maybe Winston goes on too. Who knows? Like, it depends on who comes in. But what's I gonna say? Yeah, finish out one more year with Winston, and see where that goes. If you want to pick up a quarterback in the later rounds, you can. I think you should just hold on to Brian Griffin. He'd be the backup. I'm sure at some point in the season he might get a chance due to injury or something might happen preseason. I think the kid's got some talent. I think one of the main things is, that'd be nice if the Duff man comes back next year too. I said we'll keep continuity. Like I said, if the Glazers do that, I much respect them for not crumbling under the pressure of all the Bucks fans hollering to fire them. I know Cutter hears it. I know they hear it. They hear the same stuff we hear. But I think they will hold on to him to keep continuity for a while. And then, instead of moving on, we're just so close from tweaking things, man, to be a better team. It's just some really small things to fix that could have us being a double-digit plus winning team versus 5-win teams. It's just very small things that we need to fix. And it's not an overhaul to fix it. It's just some minor things. Keys to victory versus the Falcons. Let me go to the tape here. I did have the Madden prediction, but they got us blown out. They didn't fix the roster where all the injuries, they had all the starters in. So I ain't going to do that one. But I am going to go over one drive with the Atlanta Falcons. So check me out here. I don't have my mouse on this one. Everything I'm using is a touch screen. So you guys are going to have to bear with me on videos and stuff like that. All right, let me hide this. Put myself down. I'm gonna put myself down. Everybody want to call me at this moment. What's up, Rick? Yeah, kind of going live right now. I'll hit you back later. I'm gonna be on a flight. All right. I told you I'm on another computer. Make Dirk give up play calling if we keep him. I agree, Alvin. He's a coordinator. That's what he loves to do. He is obsessed with that. All right. Hopefully this works. I had it pulled up earlier. What in the world? I just wanted to go over OneDrive. I want to go over OneDrive with you guys. You can't see it on your screen what I'm doing. Thank God you ain't got to see that. Whatever. Don't look like it's going to be filmed today, fellas and ladies. You guys also check out, I have it probably coming up here around playoff time. I have 4 ladies in the football, first lady female talk show, talking nothing about sports, mostly football. Hometown Buccaneers. They're going to touch on other topics on the league and stuff like that. Look forward to seeing them. I'll probably try to have them all live on the next show. And so you can get a taste of what you're going to be getting into. And that's only going to be found at bucksreport.com. Yeah, guys, I'm not doing that. This and that. It's not working out. So beat them Falcons. Screw them. Go Bucks. Bears Super Bowl champions. Possible. Khalil Mack should have gave up picks for him. 37-21 over Falcons. I hear you. But do we really want to win? That if we win, we go from pick 4 to pick 10. Should we tank the season for the fourth pick in the draft? I'll never admit that openly. The Falcons beat us. They beat us. Sean the Drip Buck Brown can move Warhouse somewhere else. Our biggest issues lay with our protection, our position coaches, in my opinion, and Jason Light. I think Jason Light can get better. He just needs to make better decisions. I realize wanting Dirk out is going to change everything. So, know what? I'm going to give him another year, too. Yep, I'm with you, too, Sean. Enough of change has happened here in Tampa Bay. And Levante David has said that himself, that he was tired of seeing all these changes and stuff like that. So, I think we need to start keeping continuity here in the Tampa Bay area. But based on an hour, I'm running out of time here for my segment. I appreciate you guys checking me out. Keep checking me out. I'm here every Thursday. I'm going to try to do stuff maybe in the morning times to catch you before you go into work. Whatever. We'll end this as we always do. You're the master of everything. What you do with your life, what you do with it is entirely up to you. Thank you guys. God bless, and fire those cannons. Oh, yeah, Quan will be back, hopefully. He spends too much money. Boy, I got to start saving so you don't go broke in the future. But all right, guys. Appreciate it.